Now it's time to hit the play button. Got questions and answers, but probably sudden. I'm pretty sure I have no clue, but that's how we roll, we're breaking through. I'm pretty sure I have no idea, but we keep it fun, yeah, we keep it clear. Tune in now, let's start the show with laughs and shouts and the knowledge flow.
I just had the idea of even like looking at a dictionary and be like, what? You just read through the dictionary,
Yeah.
A through Z. Okay, whatever the fucking first word in the dictionary is, what does that mean?
Sure. Just go through
And
it.
then you tell me what you
Yeah.
think that means.
Do you understand
like,
what the
yeah,
words in the dictionary are?
Seriously, like how many times I've used words so incorrectly for
Yeah.
like thought I knew what something
Yeah.
meant,
Yeah.
forever. And I think you just morph an idea
Yeah.
into whatever you use it as you heard it in a
You
movie.
use it with confidence
Yeah.
incorrectly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just lucky enough you hang around with everyone who's dumber than you are.
Right.
That just like,
Never
oh
catch it.
yeah, yep, that's right. I'll
Yeah.
use it this
They
way
start
too.
doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I learned last year? I brought this up to Jack and Jillian, English professors.
Yeah.
I think I had heard in a podcast. Do you know that rhetoric and rhetorical are the same core word?
That sounds familiar.
Like
but
hearing it, I'm like,
maybe
that
I've-
makes perfect sense.
I feel like you have said that.
It's
It
interesting
sounds
to me
familiar.
because I've heard both words used so many times, and it took a long time before I was like, oh, those are the same. So I asked Jack and Joey, and Jack was saying, he's like, yeah, this is actually exactly part of what we teach at school. And he said rhetoric, I believe it's because rhetorical it's a question that doesn't need an answer.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a question that's almost more trying to convince you of something rather than ask you something. And that's what rhetoric is. Rhetoric is just convincing. I don't know if rhetoric and like propaganda are like a similar thing. Like,
Sure. I
But-
guess that makes sense. Yeah, if you're saying it's basically a statement without a rebuttal
yeah.
requested.
But yeah, that was it. That stuff to me is very interesting. Like core words, where did
Yeah.
that come from?
Yeah.
And like rhetoric and rhetorical for me, it was like, whoa, I had never even put those two together.
Yeah, just having kids, they ask you questions, they try to explain something, and you're like, I don't know how to explain what like even the most basic words are. Sometimes you think you know what they are, but you can't put them into a vocabulary.
Or like break it down, like as if you're educating
Yeah.
somebody.
No, I'm probably the worst teacher there is. I'm fucking awful at it.
Yeah.
I think growing up, it was just like, do so much. And then it was like, just get out of my way and let
Sure.
me finish it. And I'm like the same
Yeah.
way, but just know the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you to know
Why
the thing.
don't you know it?
And it's especially like frustrating with older people.
Yeah.
Like child, I don't have, I have like, not remorse, but like I'm like understand
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you don't understand it. But if
sympathize
you're
with
like
their-
30 years old and you don't understand a simple concept, I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, fuck you. I like don't have the time to
Yeah.
even explain what's happening.
I agree.
here.
I have a hard time having patience with that stuff. I think what I've realized with my kids is like when I don't know to just say that
Sure.
instead of, because I think there's a lot of people that won't do that. That'll just like kind of feed. You have this weird power over your kids. Like it's very strange. You can mold them into whatever. I'm a Packer fan. I'm a Milwaukee Wave fan.
Sure.
Like, you are going to be that now, just
Yeah.
by default of being
Yeah.
exposed to
And
it.
beatings. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Both of those help
Right.
molding.
Well, yeah. Well,
Physical pain
yeah.
and mental manipulation.
It's the mental manipulation's incredible. It's really crazy
Yeah.
that you can just make, like, I think it has a lot to do with like, I don't really care about sports.
Sure.
I didn't grow up with parents that cared about sports.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't exposed to it. It's very interesting to think about how you can just like mold your kid. It's like almost like criminal, the power you have to like make your kid into.
Well, it's at what point? I mean, because you've gone through this whole, you've gone through baby to, how old's your oldest? 19?
19, yeah.
19 now. So at what point there's like a certain amount of hold you have to the beginning. So at like what, 13, then your word maybe is the reverse.
Yeah.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
That's
if-
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I think
Where it starts doing the opposite effect.
well, yeah, everything dad says is bullshit now.
Yeah.
Everything dad says is
Yeah.
dad doesn't understand. Yeah, I think a lot of it is trying to remember how you thought at that age. You know, it's
Oh.
like when my 16-year-old is sneaking vapes into the house and I'm finding them, I have to address it. And, you know, I have smaller kids in the house, so that's a problem. You can't have, it'd be one thing if I just had teenagers,
Sure.
but like there's little kids around. You can't have shit like that in the house with little kids running around. But Jesse had a pretty good upbringing, pretty wholesome. Mine was a lot different. So I think I relate to making bad decisions at that age a lot
Easier.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when Jesse's, you know, clutching her pearls over something one of the kids did, I'm like, they're doing way better than I did.
Yeah.
So it's like this understanding, but at the same time, like I still have to be the law. I do still have to like,
Yeah.
not,
Yeah. I don't know what, I always felt like from the time I was like 13 to, and I don't even know when it stopped, that these people were like the enemy. Like
Yeah.
the parents were.
Yeah.
Like everybody's your parents and everybody's parents were
Yeah.
like, you're trying to like get away with whatever from them. And I don't even know where that like came from at all.
I think it's probably pretty common
Yeah.
for the most part. I'm sure it's more extreme in some cases than
Yeah.
others.
But I remember like having a girlfriend at 18 or 19 and be like, we're going to go hang out at, my parents want to hang out or whatever. I'd be like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You want to sit with the enemy
Yeah.
in
yeah.
their house? You know, what? That's not happening. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't relate to that. Well, you know, my whole scenario at that age was crazy, but yeah, the idea that like my parents want to hang out with us, like that's very strange.
Yeah, probably took to the like being like 30, maybe like 25 or 26, before I was like, all right, maybe they weren't the enemy and they've got a good hold on
Yeah.
what the hell's going on actually. But
Well, and I think there's a realization too that like adults don't know, they don't necessarily know. Like I think from like whatever birth till like 15, 14, you're like, oh, adults know everything.
this
And
guy's
I'm,
got control of the situation
Yeah.
and has a plan what's going to happen
Yeah.
next. Yeah.
And then when you turn, you know, 18, you realize that they don't really know. And then I think like every 5 years from then on, you go, oh, nobody knows. Like
Sure.
you have things in line, but you don't have it figured out.
Sure.
Because I don't think anybody really does. You know, it's
Well, that's the deal with this too, right?
yeah,
If you're going to start this, you start out by going, these guys know what they're doing here.
but
Like, I'm not going to do this. Why?
Right.
Why? Those are the guys who do it. I'm not the guy who does it, but they were the same as you
right before they
a
did it.
year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago,
Right.
some cases 10 years ago.
Right.
But it's the same shit.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you. You brought up that American Primeval show.
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. I forgot what I said last time, if it was like halfway through it,
I
but
think
I
you were
think I
like 2
finished it
episodes
like
in.
that day.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, I knocked it out.
I feel like I forgot half of it already.
Yeah,
but
it's been a while for me too. But I think you were bringing up the main guy. I think you thought it was like Josh Hartnett.
yeah, who was
It's
it?
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor. Okay.
So he was in. I'm sure you haven't seen this. It was a terrible action film. You ever see Battleship?
Nope. I know it exists.
He was in another movie called John. I don't know, some sci-fi movie. Hey, he's a
Just
good
in
actor.
that pill movie, right? He's like the Oxycontin movie that was on Netflix. Oh,
don't-
maybe it was a series. It
I
was
don't
a
think I watched
series.
it. Are you talking about? Was it like about the Sackler family and all that?
Yeah, there's two of them. One
I
of them was a
watched
movie,
The
not
Hulu
with.
one I watched. I didn't watch the
Yeah.
Netflix one.
Okay, there was like a three. Yeah, it was a mini series.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
newer, right? Last couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I watched it. It might have been him. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a
It
good
was-
actor.
Yeah, it was good for sure. I started watching Landman.
Dude.
Yeah, I think I'm just about finished with that.
I
Maybe you brought that up
I
last
think
time
I did.
too.
Yeah.
People
Billy
kept
Bob
bringing it up
Thornton's
to me.
The best.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
His character.
it is.
I-
It's very good.
I do think he's just being himself in those like that and like Bad Santa. Like that's just who he is. He's just this maniac.
He does seem like he would be like a cool hang.
Yeah, I bet he would. Well, and he dated, was he like fucking 70 and he was dating like Angelina Jolie?
I don't know how old this guy is.
He's looked the same age for the last 30 years.
I think he's dating Angelina Jolie. She's like 24.
Yeah, and
And he's probably
50.
I bet he's like 35.
I don't know.
I think he just looks the same because
Yeah.
that was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably, right? It's got to be.
All right, we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Man, I fucking slept terribly.
Yeah, I went to bed pretty late last night.
I went to bed on time. I just fucking like slept on my neck all jacked up. I woke up all twisted up this morning.
I went to a comedy show last night.
What? Who'd you see?
Greg Fitzsimmons.
Oh, I saw him last year.
Did you?
Was pretty good. He was excellent when we
He's
saw it.
amazing.
Like very good. Even if you don't necessarily like his shit, you can tell he's like a pro. Like
I don't think he was selling tickets.
Yeah.
So, because the tickets were a gift for me for my, I think it was for my birthday. It was for Christmas from Sophia, and I think she paid like $25 for the tickets at the time they came out. Then there was people next to us we were talking to that said they saw him drop to 10. I got a notification that they were 5. And then the people next to us said that they saw them go free.
yeah.
So I think that's a sign that like tickets aren't selling. The Improv just wants to get seats and butts to buy food and drinks.
When I saw him, I just bought tickets that day. I didn't know he was
Okay.
going to be there or anything like that. I think they were like $5.
Okay.
But I don't get it.
I think he's
'cause,
worth
yeah,
a full ticket price. He's amazing.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's established. Why does he not sell tickets?
I don't
does he
know.
not like have a podcast?
He does.
Like a
I think
strong.
I met him
community?
at
Oh,
the
you
end
did?
of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we took a picture and I talked to him for a minute and I was like, "Are you still doing the Fitz Dog podcast?" He's like, "Yep, still do it." So he's like, "Sounds like a dance, right?" Like he made some joke
Yeah.
about the name of his podcast, but yeah. So the opener was good. I can't remember her name. Local lady. She was very, very funny, very self-deprecating. She looked like a fella, so she would constantly make jokes about that. She was great. Then the next guy. So what is it? The opener,
Feature?
the feature, and then the headliner.
I believe so.
So, or it's like the host, the feature, the head. I don't know.
Probably.
So
Something like that. 3 things.
he comes out and dude, it was no good.
Really?
Yeah, it was probably the worst comedy I've ever watched.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
was-
weird because I feel like the feature usually is very like almost better than the
sometimes.
yeah, like a lot of times.
Yeah.
I think when he was there last time, there was some black guy that came out. He was awesome,
Yeah,
like super super good.
yeah.
But
I do think that's common, and then it makes you wonder because I know a lot of these comedians have like someone that travels with them.
Sure.
Like, I'm picking you. I like how you do things. Come with me. And then I think sometimes they're like, oh, there's just a local guy who was around. We're going to use him to fill in.
probably.
I don't remember his name, but man, he sucked. It was
yeah.
really bad. And,
Yeah.
and it was, I think he was speaking to the wrong crowd. So he said he was from Wisconsin. He was originally from Ohio. Then he lived in Waukesha. And then he moved down to Chicago like 6 months ago. He said he's like a male feminist. He talked about, he just had like all these weird, like, I can handle like liberal viewpoint comedy. Like, it's
Sure.
fine.
Sure. If it's funny.
It just
Just
was
wasn't-
not.
yeah.
It wasn't funny, and it was like terrible subject matter. So like all together, like there was points where he was like, "Oh, I guess I really get paid for this, huh?" And like no one's laughing,
Yeah.
nobody's chuckling. Like he made it through like 20 minutes where like he got a laugh or two.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Well, I keep chugging along when you're eating shit.
Yeah.
That's
There's something to be said.
But maybe he is halfway decent, and he's just like, all right, I'm bringing out the whole all new shit.
Right.
But I guess I don't know enough
That's
about
not
it.
the vibe I felt from him. I felt
like he's done this act
Yeah.
fucking hundreds of times and just is complete shit at it.
yeah.
You just needs to be in big city vibes where
Yeah.
people are gonna jump on your side with some lunatic fucking views.
Yeah, and just give him some, Virtue signal claps.
Sure.
Yes, good
Yeah,
job. We do
they-
love that.
Starts building up his confidence.
Yeah.
I could do it.
All right, I was gonna look up Billy Bob to see
Oh God, I don't like that picture.
how you like that awesome facial hair.
That is, yeah, that's the worst.
I don't really use the website too often. I always do this on my phone for IMDb, which I do think is the best resource.
55. So he's 70 years old.
Okay.
About to be 70 years old.
About to be 70.
So that's got to be the 19. The Billy Bob Angelina Jolie's got to be like 98, 2000, something like that, right?
Yeah, that sounds like it's
So
probably right.
25 years ago.
You know what's funny is I do this and I realize that I can go here
Oh.
and get a much faster answer.
Oh, to Grok?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was 45 and she was 24. That's
Yeah.
probably, that's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. How old were Bob Thornton?
Billy Bob. He's got to be the most famous Billy Bob, too. There hasn't been a more famous Billy Bob.
Yeah. Were they married? They just date?
Maybe.
Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie started dating in 2000. At that time, Billy Bob Thornton was born on
Dude,
August.
I like called almost exactly.
Yeah, look at this.
that.
Jeez. This guy secretly knows everything about their lives. Oh,
Well, that was kind of into the phase when she was into older guys, but she was weird too, right? Like
Yeah.
her brother is like kind of the similar age, and they would like kiss on the lips in public
really?
and shit like that.
I don't remember any
He's
of that.
just kind of like a male version of what she looks like.
Okay,
But, that's not a masculine face.
sure. Do you know who her dad is?
Yeah, John
John
Voight.
Voight? Yeah.
Yeah.
For years, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think John Voight, too, is like this hyper conservative.
Yeah. He's a bit of a weird
Little-
fucking guy too, I
A little
think.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him. He's a good actor. I like him in some of the stuff he's done.
Oh yeah, okay. There's always like 3 old guys like that I always mix up, like John Voight and Martin Sheen.
Oh, sure.
Like those guys all like live in the same part of my brain as like one guy.
Yeah.
Or like Rip Torn and oh fucking who's that other guy? It could have been another one of these guys. There's like
Was
Rip
Rip
Torn
Torn
and one guy look exactly alike.
Yeah. Is
People
Rip
be
Torn
like-
the guy from Freddy Got Fingered? Is that Rip Torn?
Maybe I don't.
Or is it the other guy that we're thinking
Maybe. Who's the guy from Super Troopers?
of? Yeah, I think it's the other guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot the other guy.
Is it the guy from Succession?
Yeah, what's his name?
That's the guy from
That's not
Super
Rip Torn.
Troopers. Right, but it's the guy from Super
What's his
Troopers, right?
name?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not
I've done
convinced
this.
that they're different people.
I've done this before.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just do Super Troopers because I think we're gonna.
As soon as it's one of those things, his name's gonna pop up. You're like, how did I not? And then Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know. This is hard to. So tiny.
Ursula. Brian Cox.
Oh, yep.
What? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Oh
That's him.
yeah.
And then
Rip Torn.
Yeah.
I think you put them back to back and they don't look that much alike.
But I totally agree with you. I've
yeah,
done the same
I
thing.
just mix them up 100 times or every time.
What a hilarious name for that movie.
He's got a documentary on Amazon.
Tom Green?
Yeah, that just came out. Like, I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, Tom Green was like a podcast pioneer.
Yeah,
Rogan talks about it all the time.
sure. That was the last time I heard him was on there.
Yeah, there's Rip Torn. Yeah, I think you're right. Like you put them side by side and they're not.
That's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Let's see if Grok is another good resource for this.
Can you just say
Show me side by side.
yes, 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 yes. So do you ever get the fuck it, Canadian bacon from Costco?
I have.
Think it's the new game changer.
Yeah.
Because it's like no fat or anything. It's like
Yeah.
a ton of protein, like no fat. You
Yeah.
just mix it in with eggs every day just to like boost that up
Give
to
it-
like, instead of 25, you're like boost it to like 50.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find these like sneaky ways to
Yeah.
boost all the. Are those real pictures?
I don't know.
Cause I mean, yeah,
It looks like them.
they're generated.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at those. Look at that top left one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be cousins.
Should I make them look more similar
Yeah.
to confirm our bias?
Yeah. Well, it's already getting there.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's ham. It's essentially like a lower fat ham.
Yeah.
Is what you're getting.
Yep.
You know, it's a
And
cleaner.
uncured, blah blah blah. Like I
Mhm.
made pizzas with it the other night, and then had some left over. I started doing that. I was like, just because I find it really hard to get to that protein, that gram of protein per pound.
Yeah.
Like it's really tough. So I'm just trying to find I'm trying to get there
Supplementing.
without powder and
Yeah.
without like, I'll do powder once every other day and do like a protein bar once every other day.
Yeah.
But just like to get there naturally is
Yeah.
like
It's a task.
feels like you're eating so much
Yeah.
to
Well, you're-
get there.
And if you're going to get protein like that, you're eating so much good, one solid ingredient
Sure.
food,
Sure.
egg, chicken, steak.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it's funny when you talk about like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a bulk. This is awesome. I get to eat more. It's like, yeah, not when it's 2 chicken breasts.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm done eating chicken.
Yeah.
I don't, if it
Yeah.
was a pint of ice cream, you could eat it.
Sure.
But when it's like real food, it's so much harder.
Yeah. I've been just like adding that, and then I've like been trying to do 3 eggs with Canadian bacon and like half a avocado.
Nice.
That's like the breakfast. If
Yeah.
I can like do it right, that's what I want to do. And then my like normal small, most people would even consider it a lunch. I just do like almonds, 4 pieces of cheese,
Yeah.
and then
Is that like a snack pack thing that's
Apple.
already built, or
it was kind of like I was buying those fruit and nut mixes, and it was
Yeah.
like
expensive?
expensive, and all the dry fruits just like fucking sugar just
Yeah.
shot into your system. I was like, I don't want any of that. So
Yeah.
just like basically made my own version of that, and then an apple and a banana. And then I try to do like Greek yogurt or protein bar when I get home.
Yeah.
And then after try to do powder, and then whatever for dinner.
Yeah.
But it's like I realized just with those like little add-ons, like I was not doing the
Bacon.
Canadian bacon. I wasn't doing like the Greek yogurt prior,
Yeah.
which is probably 300 calories total, 400 calories total.
Yeah.
But like I feel like completely full like all day long.
Yeah.
Just with those like 2
Greek
little
yogurt's
things.
amazing.
Yeah.
It tastes like sour cream, but it's
I like it. Yeah.
like a perfect. What I've done is I've put protein powder in.
That's what I've seen a bunch of people,
Yeah.
or I've seen a bunch of things on. But they said, do you do the full fat whole milk?
Greek yogurt.
Yeah,
I do whatever the Costco's is. Costco
Okay.
has that big
I think
giant
it's 2%.
tub. Okay.
Yeah, they said the thing I saw was whole milk has all the probiotics and all
Okay.
that stuff in there. This could be, I'm taking these tidbits
Yeah.
and turning it into a Bible.
Right.
Essentially, I'm like,
Right.
this is the fact. This is what I go
Right,
off. I'll
right.
do zero research on it.
Yeah.
But basically, the whole milk has all the probiotics and everything. Like, it's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
we'll do that. Like, I'm not overly concerned fat content
Yeah.
wise. So it's like, fucking, let's get all the
Well, it's calories.
let's
And,
get all the juice out of it I can.
well, and are you counting your calories?
No, not really. But I can't imagine that I could be even
Super high.
pushing. I can't be over 2,500.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine I would be.
Yeah.
Like everything from the beginning of the day till dinner, it's probably under, probably around 15.
I'd be
would
interested to
say.
see if you spent like a couple days counting
It'd
because
be very easy for me. I do the same shit the only thing that changes each day is dinner.
yeah, you
And
should count and
yeah.
see. I know the book that got me into lifting and paying attention to what I was eating is Mike Matthews' Bigger, Leaner, Stronger.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And in that book, he talks about like everything he references is like a study from Stanford, a study from here, with this many people, and he breaks the whole study down. So everything feels like very thorough. There's been studies done on people predicting their calorie intake. And he's like,
Sure.
everybody underpredicts everybody. It's like, it would be interesting. I think you're pretty locked in, but it'd
I
be
was gonna
interesting if
say-
you counted.
I feel like you're right, but I feel like I'm not under predicting.
Yeah,
Just, I mean, sometimes it's gonna be tough if I'm making nachos,
sure.
and then that's gonna be like 2K
Yeah.
right off the bat. I don't even know how I would count that shit.
Yeah. You would.
just like scoops. There's
Well,
a
you'd
lot of
have to
scooping,
measure- you'd
a
have to
lot of
measure
dumping
every-
of ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to measure every single thing.
How many grams of
Yes. You
yeah.
put chips on the scale, this much chips. Because
That's-
everything, I weigh everything by gram.
that takes away the whole life
fun
of the
of the
nacho.
dir-
You can't do that to nachos. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
You just be banned from eating nachos
Right.
from now on.
Yeah.
If you're measuring out beans.
Yeah.
The nacho gods
You're
fucking smite you.
Nacho gods.
Can't handle that shit. So you gonna go to Eric's for
Yeah, I'm
Super
in.
Bowl?
I invited Jordan.
Okay.
Thought he'd be a fun
Sure.
add-on. I just wrote him and I was like, hey, I'm not sure if you have plans. Got the Super Bowl party coming up. Boone should be there. It's like, let me know if you're interested.
Yeah.
So he just said, I don't have any plans. I'll let you know.
Yeah. I don't know what your deal is that whole you gonna do family stuff in that morning. Jackson got games and
What,
all
the
that.
next day?
No, on Sunday.
Oh, the day of?
Yeah.
No, I think actually when I brought it up to Jessie, she said we don't have anything.
Okay. I'm working Saturday. So, and then Evie's got 2 birthday parties that the morning. So it's like she'll be gone from 10 till the Super Bowl starts essentially. So I think I'm going to go to the golf simulator if
Okay.
you're interested in that at all
Sure.
too.
Yeah, I haven't
I was
picked up
like,
a
I'm-
club since the last time you
Yeah.
saw me hold one.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Fucking let's just make it a all out day.
Yeah.
And I haven't really done anything super fun
Yeah.
as of late. So I was like,
Would you want to just go to the one over here again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that one's the best. The only problem is beer's kind of expensive.
Sure.
Like
Just smuggle. You should just smuggle a bunch of beers
Yeah,
in.
you're like this close, like 10 feet away from the bar.
Yeah.
They're like constantly up here. And that's why you drink so much there. Because
Yeah.
they'll be like, you got like that much that I can get you another one.
Yeah.
You're like, yes.
They know what they're doing.
Bring it here right
Yeah.
away.
Like these
right
guys are
now.
swinging golf
Yeah.
clubs. They got away from their families for an
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Let's get them drunk.
That was my only thing. I was like, fuck, do I want to like start drinking at 10 o'clock
Yeah.
on
Super Bowl
Sunday and
Sunday,
then
yeah.
just push it all the way? And then I was like, yeah, I do want to do that.
Nice.
That's all I want to do,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, that sounds rough. Last time, dude, the last time I drank a decent amount of like more than 2 drinks was New Year's Eve. And New Year's Eve, dude, I was wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jordan and I left. We went to the bars over here.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha,
we
yeah.
stayed up, midnight with the kids. We did a balloon drop in the living room.
Oh, you said it. You were up till after midnight?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was up till like 3:30 in the morning.
Whoa.
4, I think.
Jesus.
So
It seems impossible.
for you,
Yeah. I don't know how I don't think I could do it.
we'll get you there Sunday.
Yeah. It's going to be, well, there's a few ways to get there, but it's like naturally, I'm going to need some PEDs
Yeah.
to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, we went out to the bars over here. Jordan's just feeding me shots of Apple Crown, getting
Oh
wasted.
God, all that fucking nasty bullshit. Too.
Yeah. So just drinking. So we go to Backstreet first. Backstreet closes at like 2. And I was like, oh, Eagles might stay open. So we go over
Yeah.
there. Dude, Eagles stays open until like 3:30 in the morning.
That's what my dude from work was like. Bars are up until 4.
Yeah.
The guy's 63 years old. Told me that.
Yeah.
Bars are open to 4 tonight, so like, are you fucking insane?
So
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
You don't have
that guy's a pro. If he's talking like that at that age,
Yeah, he's
it's gonna take more than
he's an absolute
a
maniac.
bad liver
but-
to take that guy out.
Yeah, he's a diabetic,
Oh,
so
sure.
he's on his way.
Yeah. He's tracking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can't be staying out to 4 in the morning as a diabetic.
Yeah. So yeah, we go out, we drink till 3:30, we come home. I'm wasted, dude. We walk in the door and then Jordan's like, I'm gonna get an Uber. I'm like, all right, cool. I walk in, I get down to like my underwear, I crawl in bed, and Jesse's like, where's Jordan? I was like, I don't know, he's getting a ride home. And then she looks on the Ring camera and he's like wandering around in the front yard and she's like, fuck, can't just leave this guy out here.
Yeah.
So she's like, go check on him. So now I'm in my underwear, going outside looking for. I check the front door, I don't see him. I go to the garage door, I don't see him. I'm going back and forth. Finally, I find him. And I'm just like standing in my underwear, wasted. I'm like, what are you doing, man? And he's like, I'm getting a ride. I'm like, all right. And like Jesse's badgering me, like, make sure he's fine. I was like, dude, I'm going to throw up everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I got to go. I was like, good luck, man.
Yeah.
I just like leave him in the garage and I just go and throw up and then I go to bed.
Perfect, though. I
Yeah.
wish. I don't know. I've drank too much to be able to throw up.
Ever?
From drinking.
Really?
Seems like, I don't know the last time I did. I wish I could. That would be fantastic. If I
Yeah?
just got to, I think I will go to sleep. Like if I
Better?
drink too much, no, if I drink too much, I'll just go to bed,
Oh, before you get to the.
throw up.
Oh.
It'll be like, okay, that was too much. Go to that spot.
Yeah.
Pass
before
out.
it gets too excessive.
Yeah. I wish I could because if you're gonna, I mean, you've got all the funness out of the booze, then you get to get rid of it before it's fucking killing you throughout the evening.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know if I've drank so much that I'm throwing up the night out.
You're gonna be fucked up the next
the
day
next day is
regardless.
gonna be a bananas.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it was. I woke up New Year's Day and I was like, Jesus. It was like one of the worst hangovers I've ever had. I think
Yeah.
I'm sure just getting older now too, and
Yeah.
my body's not bouncing back
Sure.
as well.
For sure. Yeah, I've been like sick. Dude, I was sick New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I was sick like that whole week. Then I think we must have done this the last time like 2 weeks after that, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So I hadn't drank since like the beers I had at the Wave game. So
Yeah.
I didn't drink in between then and that Saturday. And then after, I think I had a couple drinks on that night afterwards. And then I've been like sick since then.
Oh, really?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Like it was like cold into, how I do it. Like I think I'm like, oh, I'm good. And I work out or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I take too much out of my body.
Yeah.
And then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. You
And
drain
then
your
I
battery.
and then I get back to where my immune system's at 70%. And I'm like, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And then I fucking take it all the way back down again.
Yeah.
But back, I feel like I'm good shape again now.
Nice.
Like not being sick.
Yeah,
So,
there's been like a weird sickness floating around our house. I've just been like sinuses, congested, coughing a little bit, but otherwise pretty good.
yeah.
so-
So Michelle's sick now too.
Yeah.
It's just like it just
Well,
fucking.
and you got a house with, kids and stuff too. It's
Yeah.
like it just circulates.
That's how it's been at work though too. Like
Yeah.
nonstop. I've had like a guy out for the last 10 days.
Yeah.
At least one guy out the last 10 days. So it's been hard to stay good. I actually
Yeah.
was able to run twice this week, so
Nice.
which is good. Got the short shorts on
Super
Thursday.
fast.
Oh my god. I swear to God. It's a fucking real thing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Feel
buy
that air on your
even
beanbag, just get you
shorter
going.
shorts and just see how fast
Just
I can
run
go.
naked. See how fast you are then.
I think there'll be too much. There'll be some injuries if that happens. Just hit a corner, flapping sack.
Yeah. You'll be running from the cops before you know it.
Sure, that is the best exercise.
Yeah, dude, I have some weird foot pain. My shoulder's bothering me. So I think I'm just gonna start doing like my own I keep refusing to go see a doctor for my shoulder. So I was like, I'm just going to start my own physical therapy and see if that
Yeah.
works. So I asked Grok, actually, I think it's in my history here of things I've asked it.
AI fix me.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I did. And it was like, I'm not a doctor. And I was like, yeah, but pretend you are. Oh, is it not record? Huh. I'm not sure why it's not. Anyway,
I'm sure you just made sure you deleted all of your history
Yeah, so
before
nobody
you
can
pulled this
see.
up.
let me see. I think I did it through like my phone number. That's why. All right. I think I'm on the wrong.
Yeah, maybe that was long. Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks. Must have been 3 weeks ago when I came over here. So I've been working nonstop, basically. Worked the last 2 Saturdays in a row.
Yeah.
I'm working next Saturday. Maybe the next Saturday after that. But like I said, she's done with basketball on Saturdays now. Or on Sundays, so
Okay.
I can do shit on Sundays now too.
Yeah. Sundays will work for me too. All right. I think I'm in the right account. Grok's gonna show all the porn I've been looking up.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so this is something I searched. So real quick, I tell you about. I had an idea. So what I've done now since I lost my phone.
Yeah.
So
So what was the beginning? How long did you last?
I made it like 8 days
Okay.
with no phone. And what really made me go, oh, I have to have a phone. Well, first I was like, I just need to stay in contact with people. I was like, with a wife and kids and
Yeah.
teenagers. The idea of like dad doesn't exist unless he's in front of me is probably not realistic. So I busted out an old phone. I had a Galaxy like S8. So now the Galaxy phones are on S25.
Yes.
So the S8's
I had an S8.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's pretty-
it's about 7 years old.
Yeah.
Probably something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
So I have I was like, oh, we have this old S8. I'll just take it into Verizon. They'll throw a SIM card in, activate it, won't cost me anything. They do it. All that's fine. And then I try to keep it pretty limited because like I went from having no phone to having some phone. So I was like, I'll just keep phone use just super limited, but I'll have it. And then things would come up like, oh, I need to look at my bank account. I need to look at my
Yeah.
credit card accounts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would go to download it and it would be like, these apps are not compatible with this phone.
Sure.
I was like, oh shit. Like I can't even like I don't want to I can go and look
Only
at my bank
hackers.
on the laptop.
Only hackers from India
Yeah.
are fucking using these phones to
Yeah.
steal accounts.
Right.
So we've.
What are you up to?
Yeah, exactly.
So
No one with money is using this phone.
Yeah.
So why would you be trying to look at a bank
Right,
account?
right. You're trying to steal money
Yeah.
from us, from the good people.
Yeah. The police just came to your house immediately.
So I was like, oh, I need to get a different, like a updated phone, just so I have access to
Yeah.
essential shit.
Sure.
So I ended up I went on Verizon's website and they had like get the Google Pixel 9 XL, whatever,
Yeah.
for free
Yeah.
on us. I was like, sure.
Done.
So I do that. I have it now. It's cool. Works nice. So yeah, I lost my phone ice fishing, which was ridiculous. So Jackson and I go ice fishing. We're in the shanty, got 2 holes drilled, got our holes in. The whole time I'm like looking up videos and stuff about like how to set a tip up. It's all this advice on the best way to ice fish. And I'm very cautious about like where my phone is. I have this inside pocket in my coat. I'm putting it away. So we do a FaceTime call with Jesse and we're both sitting in chairs and I set it in my lap and I forget it's there. And we have a heater right by the hole. And I was like, man, my hands are freezing.
The same way that 90% of every pipe has been broke by a
Yes. Yeah,
teenager in their car. They
Standing
go,
up.
no!
Yeah. As you watch it, you're
The wart broke off.
the triple blown double. So yeah, dude, I stand up and it just goes whoop right in the hole.
Straight, yeah.
And I watched it happen and Jackson's not watching and I
Yeah.
start laughing and he's like, what, did you catch a fish? I was like, no.
Nope.
I was
Almost the opposite.
I was like, my phone just fell in. He's like, why are you laughing? I was like, I just can't believe
It was so perfect.
that
Yeah.
happened. That
yeah.
I've been aware of it this whole time.
Yeah.
And it really just accidentally
Sure.
happened perfectly.
Sure.
So I was like, that's crazy. He's like, why didn't you try to catch it? I was like, there was no way, buddy. Like, it just went in.
I had that same thing happen with the phone, but it was a flip phone that I had for work. And I just had, I swear to God, a cup of coffee that would have only perfectly, it was like a styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
Like this flip phone would only fit in there like
One way.
directly.
Yeah.
It hits any of this. If it's not a swish, it fucking hits a side, the whole thing dumps over. It just poop. And it was like in there where it was like you had to like pull it out.
Yeah.
But the protection that this flip phone had,
Yeah.
it just
Didn't
dead
fade.
immediately.
really?
Yeah, it was fucked. Like I threw it in the rice and did all that.
Yeah.
And you probably heard me say this dozens of times, but it's my biggest accomplishment ever. Was you remember in high school they like for whatever reason you'd be able to like buy beads or give like beads to people. It's not a Mardi Gras thing. It was like
It's like a little gimmick
spirit,
at school.
Yeah, to raise money for whatever. But they give these things of beads away.
Yeah.
Somehow, well, they get broken constantly.
Sure.
So I had like just handfuls of beads. We were sitting in
Loose beads?
Yes. And we were sitting in Earth Science, and Ray De Los Santos was 2 seats. There was a person here, and then he was on the other side. So he was parallel to me,
Yeah.
but a person in between us. And I go and I take my bead and I throw it, and I landed it right in his ear. If the bead landed straight in his ear. Did I
Yeah.
ever tell you that before?
I don't think so.
And then I just fell out of my fucking chair because it was the most astounding shot of
Yeah.
all time.
Some
And just laughing.
Dude perfect stuff.
Yeah, and then he was laughing the same amount. I mean, can you just imagine you're sitting there and a bead lands in your ear?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's the best thing I've ever done.
That's awesome. So yeah, got the new phone. So now what I've done during that time where I didn't have the phone, like I'm obviously not listening to any podcasts, no
Yeah.
music, nothing.
Yep.
Usually at work, that's all I do all day.
Yeah.
So now what I'm starting to realize is that I think it's actually podcasts are like a sedative for me.
Sure.
It's a thing that I run in the background so I don't have to actually think about
Sure.
my thoughts.
For sure.
And now I'm starting to like think about my thoughts. Feels like therapy.
Yeah.
So now I'm just alone in my head all day.
Yeah.
And now I've maintained it because I think it's
Okay.
really good for me
Yeah.
to just like think all
Yeah.
day long. So now like for this, I write down ideas all day. So now what I do is I carry a notepad and a pen in my pocket all day. And if I have an idea about something I want to talk about or content creation, I write it down immediately.
Sure.
Because there's so many times in my life where I've thought of a thing and I'd be like, that's a great idea. And then it's
gone.
gone.
Yep,
I'll
for sure.
never remember it.
100%.
And I'm
Yep.
like, I had a thing, didn't I? And I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So now I'm writing everything down. I'm like thinking about like how good of a dad I am not.
Sure.
And like
Sure.
judging myself and thinking about how, and like I'm trying to like focus on being a better dad now because even if I'm doing work around the house, I have a podcast in and my kids will come up to me and ask me something. And I'm now like almost, I'll answer them. But if the answer is not sufficient, I'm irritated now
Sure.
because I'm like, I'm listening to something and I'm building something and I justify it because I'm being productive, but it's not good. I shouldn't, I should make time for whatever it is. They're 5 and 8.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think I'm starting to realize that. So I'm being just like more aware, more engaged. At work, Jesse will ask me a question and I like perk up like, oh, what? Where before I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm
what
listening
the
to
fuck do you
something.
want?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're interrupting me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now I just think it's better that I'm not just always looking for a reason to throw an earbud in
Yeah.
and escape.
It is it's kind of the easy way out, right?
Yeah.
And you're turning your brain off.
Yeah.
Where,
But I like justify it because I feel like I'm learning because I'm listening to
Yeah.
educational stuff.
Yeah. I think, when you brought this idea up to begin with, I was saying to you kind of like, I don't think you should listen to any podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's going to flood your,
Right. It influence your.
yeah, just the way you think and what you're going to like. Your references are going to be references of other podcasts and not original thought.
Sure. Are you just regurgitating what you heard that week?
Sure.
In a different,
Sure.
probably a shittier way than they said it?
Yeah, exactly. And then that's the point. It's like, what are you trying to make this? Is this Joe? Is this you playing telephone in grade school with Joe Rogan's podcast.
Right.
It just goes through fucking
Yeah.
10 filters
And comes
and
out
then
shitty.
2 different idiots say it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the obviously you could take things valuable things and put your own spin on whatever and
Right.
gain that knowledge. But again, too much of it, then you're only speaking in someone else's voice,
Yeah.
essentially.
So yeah, I
But-
think it's been good. I've been now just like thinking. So what made me think of all this is I was thinking of making, what some of my favorite stuff is like dubbed things. Like, have you ever seen like bad lip reading or like there's something called Djibouti dub? Do you ever see Djibouti dubs?
No,
Dude.
no.
So Djibouti dubs is hilarious. So I've been thinking about doing something like that. So let me see if Djibouti dubs even exists anymore. It's really old. And I used to laugh my ass off to this. And what it is it's a guy who's just dubbing over, I think he's 30 million views.
Yeah.
Let me see. There's some that I specifically remember really liking. But he's just dubbing over like all these little infomercials. And
Yeah, that's funny for sure.
Vince here with a penis pump, just fucking with you. It's a slap chop. You're gonna slap it, you're gonna chop it.
Look at
Let's
the
see what
quality
we
of
do.
that.
Did you see that? No, well, no. Okay, well, fuck, what else we got? We got some mushrooms, and you can do. If you've slapped a hooker, you've slapped a chop. It's the same shit. You can just chop it. You can just you can slap it. Look at this meat. It's not kosher.
this and like Mystery Science Theater. That night that you and
I've
I
seen
hung
that.
out, we talked about that, right?
I've seen that. Yeah.
So what I was thinking about was making something where I dub stuff over. Because like one of my favorite pastimes is like being in public and speaking for people that are far away. Like I'll do it with my kids.
Oh,
like
sure.
My older kids, not
Sure.
my little ones, but like you just make something up that this conversation these two people are having. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll dub something. And then I thought of The Twilight Zone. I was like, it would be really fun to like dub episodes of The Twilight Zone because it's so like black and white, old school,
Yeah.
innocent, and
Yeah.
just make it like throw a few cuss words in, mess around with it. And then I was like, oh, what would I call it? And I was like, oh, I could call it The Pyrite Zone. You know what pyrite is?
No, I just thought you're pirating
No.
the Twilight Zone.
So pyrite is fool's gold.
Okay.
It's mock gold. So the Pyrite Zone would be mock Twilight Zone.
Sure.
So I had this idea. I was talking to Jessie about it. She's like, "Oh, that sounds funny." And then I was asking Grok, like, what are the issues that I would run into?
Legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like a bunch.
Every issue.
Yeah. It said that like the copyright for the Twilight Zone runs until like 2055 before it becomes public
Yeah.
domain. So then I stopped there, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find what shows are now public domain and then mess around with them.
That's what I was just gonna say. What was as soon as you said one, I didn't realize that like a copyright
Expires.
I thought if you created something that was just
Yours.
never public domain, but
Yeah,
you're
I
saying
don't
it
know how it
is at
works.
some point.
Well, I don't know if you pay money, you get to keep it under lock
Yeah.
and key or,
Yeah.
but because I know, have you seen, they came out with like a Winnie the Pooh horror movie
Yeah.
and
Yep.
like Blood and Honey or something it's
Yes.
called.
Yeah.
I
They
think
did
that's
another,
because it
they
ran
do a
out.
Pinocchio one too.
Maybe.
Oh, but well, the Pinocchio one, I think it's because that's like a super old story.
Yeah.
Like Disney didn't come up with it. Winnie the Pooh, I can't imagine is much more than 50 years old,
Yeah,
right?
probably. Yeah.
Like Pinocchio's probably 200 years old or
Right.
whatever.
Well, yeah, Pinocchio's like this ancient German story or something. I
yeah.
think.
I think they're all Bavarian fairy tales that
yeah.
they just clean up
Sure.
to make
Because
palatable
the real
for
story's probably
children. Yeah.
just horrendous.
Yeah. Yeah,
Made
exactly.
to
There's
scare your kids into the house so the wolves don't get them.
a bunch of murder. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the kids die.
So yeah, that's one of my ideas that I've been messing around with. So yeah, what did I say? Oh, this was the doctor thing. So I said, act as a doctor and diagnose a pain I have in my foot. It said, Grok is not a doctor. Please consult a medical professional. Don't share your personal identifiable information. I said, oh, it said, I'll do my best to identify this. Is this where this might have been the second one. So there was its response was kind of funny. Might have been the shoulder pain one. I'm not a doctor. Please consult a medical physician. Oh, I could have swore it told me like it wasn't going to answer me. And I was like, act as if you are a doctor. And it was like, okay.
Yeah.
So there's
just
something
finding the correct way to do the prompt.
Yeah. Because it didn't want to. And then I was like, yeah, you're going to. Oh, here we go. Please act as if you are a doctor diagnosing my shoulder. All right. So that it just immediately goes into like doctor mode. I was like, AI is, I think, my favorite thing to mess around with now.
Sure.
I'm constantly, and then the new Google phone has Gemini on it. So I can just like hit a button and
How-
ask it questions.
How new is that phone that you have?
I think it's brand new.
I mean, like it just came out?
I just got it yesterday. But yeah,
Okay.
I think it came out like 3 months ago,
Okay.
2 months ago.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Which-
because all the new shit is all the
AI
new
built in.
Apple's got Apple Intelligence and
Yeah. Galaxy AI on the Samsungs.
yeah. So there's got to be something on there.
Yeah.
Do you have anything invested AI related?
No.
Okay. Like all that shit took a
What is that? There's like artificial super intelligence as a crypto. Does that have anything to do with AI? I know it's the name of a crypto,
yeah.
but is that? It sounds like it's AI related, but I don't know if that's
Yeah,
just
there's
the
a couple. There's a couple that are AI related, like even you're at a fart coin.
Name. No.
Okay, well, Fartcoin like blew up like I don't know a month ago or whatever.
Okay.
But essentially, that was all. I think what I heard was they put two AI programs together to develop it, and
Okay.
like essentially like make me, a meme coin that would be able to gain popularity and have like
Yeah.
certain, the way that it's set up with distribution
Yeah.
and
Follows trends or
whatever.
whatever.
And that's I mean, that's been like one of the biggest hits of this year
Okay.
or the last like few months,
Sure.
basically that. And, the Trump coin blew up and then has kind of went back, but people, were buying it 35 cents and went to $70
Wow.
over.
Was it over the course of the election? Does a lot of that have to do with?
It's only been out for a short period of time.
Okay.
It may have been like, so what did he get? Inauguration was on a Tuesday, no, Monday, right? It was
I don't remember.
on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So I think it came out like on a Friday or a Saturday.
Okay.
And then it like Sunday, it fucking blew up where people were like 30Xing.
It has nothing to do with Trump himself.
Yeah.
It is his coin. No shit.
His people put it together. Like,
Wow.
I think his stake in it is like $8 billion right now.
Goodness.
Yeah. Or it was at its like peak. But so did you mess around with DeepSeek?
No, it's the
I
new
don't-
one.
I don't think you can get on there. I don't know if you can get on there. You can't get on the new model. That's only like you're able to only access it in China.
I thought I heard some news report. So this is where I've been listening to now because I don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
My car has Android Auto,
Yeah.
and Android Auto by default has like a Google News setting. So when I'm in the car, I'll just hit that, and it'll
Sure.
give me like 5 minutes of Reuters, 5 minutes of Fox News, 5 minutes of tech,
What's
5 minutes.
Reuters?
So I think Reuters is a very well-known, well-regarded news network.
Okay.
I think
I've
out
heard,
of like
I've
Europe.
heard of it, but it's another one of those things where I think I know what it is and I just go along with it.
Sure.
you know,
You act
like,
as if
yeah.
you know.
Yep, that's a thing that I've
I
heard
don't know
of.
exactly
Yeah.
how to spell it. Let me see if it knows. Reuters is a global
Okay.
news agency that provides news,
1851.
financial data, market analysis to media outlets. Yeah, England. So yeah, I'll go on there, and they had brought up that DeepSeek. Apparently, like the thing with DeepSeek is that they're saying they can now make AI super powered without the need for all like the NVIDIA chips.
Not that well.
Like-
Yeah, it's like power
It's
as
like
well.
it's like
It's like-
less demand of power for like these big like data centers and stuff.
Yeah, I read a bunch of it. Essentially, it's like just way, way, way cheaper. It was like per unit of processing or whatever, they can do it like for 30 cents opposed to $70. What?
Wow.
But I feel like I don't believe any of this shit. They did it could be 100% true, but I'm just like, my basic thought process on most things is follow the money.
Yeah.
Okay. So they released all this information on Inauguration Day, right? As soon as Trump is saying, let's put tariffs on China.
Yeah.
So what would be the biggest thing that China could do to disrupt anything that he's doing and the American markets? Like, if they throw out this information that they can do everything that ChatGPT is doing for, a quarter or 10% of the price, it's going to send the whole American market into a tizzy. Because you look at like what's holding up like the S&P 500 is Apple, Nvidia, everything there, the top 10 players in the game.
Yeah, they're all tech, AI.
Yeah. So you could Nvidia lost like 18% on Monday.
Yeah.
So they were like, I was reading different shit where like, hey, like this doesn't necessarily meet, like, why does it take any value off of Nvidia to begin with?
Yeah.
Like, they still need the chips to do this.
Right.
So I think there's some truth into what they're doing.
Yeah.
But why would they put this information out there on this specific day?
Sure.
Like, what does this do for them except for disrupt us?
Sure.
And put a little dent in our overall economy and
Try
essentially
to-
faith. Especially, Trump said he was going to give to OpenAI that $500 billion to whatever grant to OpenAI or to all the AI stuff. Yeah. As soon as he says that, then they go, hey, we're fucking doing this shit for
Way
pennies
cheaper.
on the dollar.
Yeah.
So, you guys are pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's a good theory. I don't know enough about it.
Sure. And I have zero information saying that that's true.
Sure.
It just makes sense to me that would. It's an open what was it called? What's the Chinese one?
Oh,
DeepSeek.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed to be open source as well.
Sure.
So if it's an open source that you can only access the best version of it in China right now, you don't think that you don't think everybody's got 1,000 agents there right now
I wonder
breaking
if it
down?
truly is open source.
That's what I'm saying. Like all of it, it just doesn't seem to
Well, that was the issue
compute
with
to me.
ChatGPT, Sam Altman, and Elon Musk, right? Because like Elon was a part of OpenAI
Yeah.
with Sam Altman.
So you're saying call it closed AI.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fucking
Yeah.
like you suing them for
Well, 'cause
that. Yeah.
Well, by closing it and then making it this private thing that was going to be hyper profitable
Sure.
is not, from what I understand, not what Elon wanted.
No. It was like the primary sourcing
requirement.
the cash to
Yeah.
begin with to start the whole thing up,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. AI is just like, it is the new. I go to it now instead of Google for information.
Sure.
I'm like, well, it'll give me a more concise. You'll see it pulls from 20 websites and then gives you a very great synopsis of what you're asking it. As opposed to like, if you Google something, you might just get the most visited website or New York Times or whoever's the top, paying the most or most popular, whatever. I don't know how the algorithm works, but like people get put on top. Or you might have to go pages down
Sure.
before you find something that's what you're looking for.
Well, that's what that Gemini right onto your phone right away too. You're kind of getting their answer and then the search results.
Right.
So how quick do those search results start dissolving?
Right.
And less resources being put into
Right.
that
Into the
type of
AI,
stuff. Yeah.
into what it's pulling
because
from.
essentially it's taking one step out of the process. You go, hey, what's this? So you can go to a website to get some information. It just is like, hey, idiot, I'll find it for you. You
Right.
just sit down.
But you're like putting so much trust in the AI to actually pull.
Sure. Accurate information.
Right.
And
Yeah, it's interesting because it's going to get, I think there's this whole like belief that it's like kind of unbiased and honest. I mean, obviously it isn't like the whole Gemini with like the founding fathers being, multicultural was ridiculous. So it'll be interesting to see because I think you look at it, I go to Grok or I haven't used Gemini much, but like I go to it and like the way it's able to answer me, I'm like, oh, I'm like easily convinced that it's good information.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, it knows what it's
Yeah.
talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I also could just be an idiot.
Sure.
And like, you just convinced me, it's like if a compelling person can convince you that the earth is flat.
Sure.
It's not, but they're so compelling and intelligent that you're like, they might have something to say.
Yeah. And at what point, when you keep making the gathering of information so easy for you and not needing to actually know anything, that you just take it as
Yeah.
gospel right off the bat.
Sure.
And like I said 10 seconds ago, as those searches go further out and are less used, right, being able to find that information yourself is going to disappear. Like,
Yeah.
where does the information just go away at some
Right.
point? Is it only accessible through
Through AI, a
middleman agent, which is an AI? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Is the AI the fucking librarian who grabs you all your shit
Well, it
and you
feels
can't
like
get it yourself? You're not allowed into the library?
to the archives.
Yeah.
You just sit here. We'll let you know.
Sure, exactly.
I mean, it feels very. Did you ever read 1984?
I want to.
So 1984 is amazing.
Yeah, every time I look for my next book to read, I'm like, I should do that, and for whatever reason,
It's good.
the world
I've
doesn't
never,
want me to have it in my brain as
I've
of
never
yet.
read it. I've listened. I have it
Oh,
on
okay.
audiobook.
Okay.
But just the concept is amazing. George Orwell wrote this book in like the 40s.
Yeah,
And like you listen to it or read it now, and you're like, wow, there are so many
Sure.
similarities to
Sure.
the way, because I don't think power structures really change. Like power wants to maintain power, and it wants
Sure.
to control,
Sure.
the what do they call it, is it like the Phoebes, or just like the lowers, right? Where all the ants, and when you hear the way that you're breaking that down, which I've never really thought about, like using AI as a filter to get your information, essentially like taking you a few steps away from the actual answer, the core information, because
Sure.
the internet's already you just taking experts' word for it,
yeah,
and then on top of that, AI is just gathering what they say are the experts' word and then giving it to you. So it's just like you're one step more removed, but it's given to you in a way where you're like, wow, this is so accurate and well defined. And then you see how good AI can do things. You're like, yeah, it's smart enough. I'm just going to assume it knows what it's doing. But when you read 84, it's just, there's a part of the book where a guy works, his job is to put, you ever heard of something being memory hold?
Mm,
So the term comes from that book. He works in a building that dictates history. So in the book, they give out rations.
yeah. I
So-
feel like I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we read it in high school or something that, like, maybe they do people read that in high school, or is that
Maybe,
too
probably
anti?
not anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe back then.
Is that too like anti-establishment?
Yeah. I couldn't see them handing it out now,
Yeah.
but maybe 20 years ago.
The cool teacher
Yeah.
who gets caught for smoking pot in the
Yeah.
parking lot and
Eats
fired.
mushrooms on the
Yeah.
weekends. But yeah, this guy like memory hole stuff. So what they'll do is they'll give out rations, and then there'll be a new news report saying that rations are now 1.5 or whatever, but they've always been 1.5. And then anybody who questions it, they go, "What'd you say?"
Yeah.
And then the memory hole guy, he takes all the documents that prove that they used to have it one way, and he puts them in the memory hole. They burns them. So there's no documentation
Yeah.
proving that ever
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah.
It's really crazy
Yeah.
to think of this like there's many parallels to like the world we live in.
Sure.
I don't think things are necessarily being memory hold, but like we have such a short attention span.
That's what it is too. It's just being not programmed, but being the shortening of all the attention spans and I feel it in myself constantly too, where I'm just like, come on,
Yeah.
So like I've been like working on just being patient,
Yeah.
like trying to, I notice myself like fidgeting and
Yeah.
shit like that. I'm like, dude, just relax.
Yeah.
It's all right. Like like I enjoy efficiency.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
Yeah. It's like
I-
a high.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just when things getting somewhere, like I pulled up here and I looked at my phone, it was 7:59. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Right when I was supposed to be here. Just anything efficient. So
Yeah.
like that being patient doesn't go with
No.
being efficient. So, but I'm like, realize like my overconsumption of caffeine and my extreme joy of efficiency has like brought me to the point where I'm just like getting fidgety,
Yeah.
not being patient at all.
Well, you have no
Like,
tolerance for waste.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
something like that happens,
Yeah.
you're pissed.
Yep. And I think that's probably what you're talking about with the, people questioning you when you're in the middle of a, because listen to a podcast while you're completing a task
Yeah.
is an efficient use of everything you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's really shutting your brain off.
Yeah.
Like you,
Like overall, it's like it's like a drug, right? It's
Yeah.
like this immediate thing that you get, but overall, I don't think it's good for you.
Sure.
Mentally,
Sure.
probably could be physically. I've been thinking more and more about like sitting down and reading,
yeah.
like just.
I was
doing
going to
it.
bring you that Goggins book.
Oh, the Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
I own it.
Oh, you have it
Yeah.
now? Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I think I have both of his books. Can't Hurt Me and
I thought I asked you and you said you just listened to.
I did both. So
Okay.
I have the book and
Okay,
I
gotcha.
listened to it.
Gotcha.
I think I got the book as a Christmas gift like 5 years ago or something.
It kind of jumps around a little bit.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's kind of hard to follow
Yeah.
where he's at in.
Did you ever listen to it?
No.
So he doesn't narrate the book.
Oh, I thought
So
he
he
did.
has a reader.
Oh,
So he hired a guy, but it's cool. They do it like a podcast. So they
that's right.
read a chapter and then
gotcha.
in between chapters, the two of them talk.
Okay.
And Goggins will elaborate on things.
Yeah.
And then that guy will, tell me more about this.
Sure.
And then, then they'll jump back into another chapter where the reader reads it. Because I just don't think David Goggins wanted to, be the guy to read that.
And he
No, he's-
probably can't. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, his stuff's incredible. If I ever feel like I'm being like a pussy, I'm like, oh,
Sure.
listen to this again. And that'll
Yeah.
remind you that like your leg doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah. I don't know how much outside or like outside of myself that I need any pumping up.
Yeah.
But it does for sure. Like you read it and you're like, all right, man, fuck.
Yeah.
Like it does get you going. Even
Yeah.
it's kind of like pre-workout where
Sure.
I'd always be like, nah, I don't need it. And then I take some for a month and I'm like, holy shit. Like
Yeah.
I've been fucking wasting my time here
Sure.
previously.
Yeah.
Because it just is that next. I got the shit dialed in so good. So
Yeah. I've never been into pre-workout.
really?
Never.
So let me tell you how to do it. Go home, take your dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Come home, drink pre-workout, play 2 matches of Call of Duty, and then you'll be
You'll be ready
perfectly
to
timed up for that's like 25 minutes or whatever.
go. Yeah.
And then you can jump into your shit and you're like
It's fucking
Aced up.
Superman.
aced up, ready to go.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, I've never really. So right now I'm not doing any lifting. So I think for February, what I'm going to do is cardio. And,
I'm going to buy one of these today, I think.
Yeah,
I love it.
they're awesome. Cardio and controlling my calories.
Sure.
So it's like calories I've been pretty good with. Like for January, I lifted for some of January. My shoulder was hurting. My foot was hurting. I was like, I'm just going to take a break on lifting for now. I'm just going to do some cardio. My foot felt better. I didn't run, so I've been doing the Peloton. So I try to do some cardio every day. So I'm either doing Peloton or running.
Yeah.
I was doing the Peloton a decent amount. And then my foot started to feel better. So I went for a run yesterday. And during the run, my foot felt weird. And now today it fucking hurts again.
You're wearing like minimalist shoes,
No,
right?
not anymore.
Okay.
I wear like, what are they? They're, I recently got shoes. I went in and talked about my foot pain, and the guy said,
Okay.
I'll give you these. So they're
Gotcha.
like a thick insole. They're like
Yeah.
the Ghost, I don't know, Asus Ghost or something.
Okay. Those are like the newer.
Yeah.
That's something. What are those, like $170?
Yeah, I think they're pretty expensive.
Okay. Yeah, because I have like I don't know if they're like kayak or some fucking kayak gel. I had a pair previously. That's where I wore to the Mutter
Yeah.
last year. And then I I wore the newest version of that all the way out last year, and I got another version of the exact same one again, but they're Asics.
Okay.
And they look like the version over a 2-year period, like the heel went from like this to like that.
They're like Hokas now.
They look, I don't know how like low your foot is actually sitting into that like pocket.
Sure. But the outside view of it is
It
that it's
looks,
fat.
yeah, it looks thick as fuck. It looks like it's 2 inches above whatever. But I've had the best luck with, because I had the same thing. I used to run those like Nike Frees,
Yeah.
like the free for, they're like that waffle or whatever
Yeah,
at
you
the
can
bottom
flip
that
it.
you could basically like ring it out if
Yeah.
you wanted to. I used to run in those, and I always had like foot problems just doing that. I was like, let's just try. I did the same thing. I went to the running store and had them set me up.
Yeah.
But that's not helping.
I don't know. I mean, that was a while ago. This foot thing just showed up like 3 weeks ago.
You think you have like a pinched nerve somewhere or some bullshit?
I don't know, man. I've never had anything like this before. It seems like, so my ankles like to, I think I have like a lot of flexibility in my ankles. So when I lay down to go to bed, my feet aren't up. My feet are like down. So my
Doesn't
ankles,
even seem possible.
my ankles like,
I want to see it, and I don't want to see it more than anything I can
it's
think
like
of as well.
It looks like they're paralyzed.
Like fucking rabbit ears.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So they bend down, and what I realize is the worst time for it is morning. So I think my legs have been like in that relaxed form. I think I need to start wearing like,
Dude, that's not fucking real. There's no way your feet, you do not have rabbit ear fucking feet.
I don't think they're as bad as what you're thinking.
Whoa.
But like when
your
you lay down, are your feet
Your
up?
heels are on the mattress and your toes are also on the mattress.
It's not that bad.
Oh my gosh.
But are your feet like up in the air when you
Yeah.
Mine aren't.
I hate it. I can't lay with my heels on the mattress
Yeah.
because it'll be, my toes are just
Straight up.
fucking popping a tent at the end of the
Sure.
blanket.
Yeah, no, mine are like probably this.
Boom. Got
at
it.
This angle.
Got it.
What I'm realizing is like when I get up in the morning, it's the worst pain. So I don't know if it has something to do with that state. Because I
Sure.
think I must just have like flexible like tibialis or something, like the front of my shin just wants to flex out. But that from going from that, like driving does it too, I think, because when I'm driving,
I've had that.
you know, my foot is
I've had that.
extending.
Yeah.
And then I get out of the car and I'm like, fuck, dude, my foot hurts.
Yeah, I've had that pain before.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some sort of grok it up. Is there some sort
already
of is there some sort of like sleep it like
a cast
Yeah,
for my foot.
yeah.
Probably. Or
Like,
I could put like an ace
yeah.
bandage on it to just
Yeah.
make it tight.
or even
Like
like
an ankle brace.
ankle sleeping bag that you just invented, make $1 million off of?
Ankle bag.
Yeah.
Um
Do you have rabbit ear feet like I did?
yeah. We could Djibouti dub that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did it say? So I went through this. It asked me a bunch of questions. I answered it.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it said, based on the symptoms you've described, here are several possibilities of what could be causing the pain on the top right side of your right foot. Extensor tendonitis, capsulitis of the second toe, stress fracture, which I don't think it's that. Nothing happened to my foot. I mean, maybe over the course of time something happened, but like there's no event that I was like, oh, I
Sure.
fucked my foot up.
An acute injury.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
nothing
I
like
think
that.
I think it could be. I think a stress fracture is not an acute injury, though. I think a stress fracture is like time after time. It's
Sure.
just keep pounding on
Dave.
something, and it just is like splintering,
Yeah.
opposed to breaking.
See. Stress fracture, while often associated with swelling or even bruising, a stress fracture might not always present with these signs. The fact that movement helps could indicate that the blood flow reduces pain. Is less common in fractures. Yeah, I don't know. I got to start doing something with it because I took it easy on it for a long time, like a week or two.
Sure.
And I was like,
And then
oh, I
didn't
think
get
it's
better
gone.
afterwards.
Yeah, and then I went for that run yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck.
That's
that
the most
irritated me.
frustrating shit.
Yeah.
When you like are going against your well, your heart is telling you to go and do the shit.
Yeah.
Your brain's like, hey, fucking take it easy. And then you're like, good, I did the right thing.
Yeah.
And then nothing works and you
Yeah.
just want to fucking smash shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's golf. That's
Yeah.
just golf
That's
right
the
there.
game of golf
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
Entirely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean, that's why drinking is involved
Sure.
because you have to get out
So
of
you
your.
can justify the things you break?
Yeah, well, just getting out of your own way,
Sure.
of like you.
Well, that's like shooting pool, right? You go to the bar and you suck in the beginning and then you get warmed up and a few drinks in you.
Sure.
Like, oh, I'm amazing at pool.
Except for that time we played, I think
Yeah.
I missed the
We-
ball to start with.
Yeah, I think we got a little.
half a dozen times.
Yeah. I think we were too far in when we
Yeah.
started playing.
That's what, like you said, that Crown Apple, like that when we went there, when we were there with Rigo.
Yeah.
Aye. Fucking just that, all that. I mean, just imagine how many like grams of sugar
Yeah.
you take in. What is it? Grok it up. How many grams of sugar is in a shot of Crown Apple? I'm going to guess 12. No, I'm going to guess 20.
I think I'm just going to put in what's the nutritional
Yeah,
breakdown.
there you go.
Because I'm interested what the calories and everything are.
So basically, I think the best booze for you is tequila.
Yeah. That's what I've heard as well.
That does the like least amount of negative effects to me.
A 1.5 fluid ounce shot of Crown Royal
5
Regal
grams of
Apple.
carbs.
It's only 100 calories.
Okay.
So it
So
must
it's
not be real sugar.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
sweetener.
Sure.
Because if it was real sugar, that would be doubled.
Sure. So what is the carbs though then?
It's just going to tell me what the carbohydrates are.
Oh.
All 5 grams are likely from added sugars.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of those boozes too. So last night at the comedy show, Jessie ordered some drink that had Crown Apple in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, taste this," and I was like, "Oh, fucking gross."
Yeah.
Because it's a shot that I at times will prefer that over like vodka, which tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Sure.
But now I think I've had too many recent events where I've gotten shitty on it.
Vodka, I don't like vodka all that much. Like
I don't
vodka's has for me, like the next day is really rough.
Yeah,
Like even with a small amount, talking like a mixed drink with vodka and it just like
stays with you.
yeah, fucks me up. I don't know what the deal is.
Like hangover or like the taste or
hangover.
yeah,
Just body is weak.
yeah,
I'm like getting back into my idea of this snowball effect with everything where I feel like even every time you drink or do something that there's some sort of hangover effect from, whether it's eating complete fucking shit
Yeah,
or drinking or whatever it is. It like stops your process, your health process where it is. It's the 2 steps,
yeah.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, but it's like the 2 steps back, 1 step forward. So you're never like gaining momentum. Like I feel like you can only pull this shit off monthly.
Yeah.
Where you're not going to give too much back.
Yeah.
Like on a weekly basis of like drinking or whatever, that recovery is putting you
So setting you back so far. Yeah.
like it may be maybe actually gaining 1 day of
positive
positive
momentum.
stuff throughout an entire week because of what you've done.
Right, where you could have had 7 days
Sure.
if you were just super disciplined.
And that's where I noticed like I go on vacation and drink 4 days out of 7 days on vacation. And that's being generous.
Sure.
It's probably more like 6 days,
Right.
5 days where
Right.
I may just
You
have
just destroy
5.
like 2 months of work
Yeah.
on vacation.
Yeah, 100%. It's so hard to like see like an actual like looking at yourself like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
And like I'm like trying to visualize the snowball effect of day after day of building on each other, like getting to a spot where you need to be.
Yeah.
And I find it really hard to get like, you want to give yourself that treat.
Yeah.
Like for me, you work 6 days and you put in 55 hours in a week, work out 5 of those 6 days. You're like, I need
some nachos.
Yeah. Well, like that I'm okay with. Cause I feel like if you like put in the work, put in the physical work that day,
Your body will.
yeah, you're just using that as fuel. I mean, maybe you're overdoing it with a bunch of other shit, but
Yeah.
really the chips are the bad part of that, right?
Sure.
I'm throwing a avocado on there, some beans and some meat.
Right.
We're probably in pretty good shape, but I'm mostly speaking booze wise,
Sure.
where you're like, all right, well, I've accomplished this
Yeah.
task. Here's my end of the week treat,
Yeah.
which is a quarter a bottle of tequila and 4 beers
Yeah.
or whatever. And then
Have
I'm
you
like,
ever
reset fucking Sunday.
yeah,
And maybe
Now
by
you're back.
Thursday, I'm back to where I
Sure.
could have fucking been.
without
Yeah.
doing it at all?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? I had it written in the garage in my gym. I have it on one of my coffee mugs. It's the saying "kill your clone."
No.
So I don't know who. It might have been on Mike. I can't think of his name now. The bigger, leaner, stronger guy, Mike Matthews. So I think he had someone on his podcast, and he said that his thing is "kill your clone," and he's like, "What kill your clone means is that if you cloned yourself tomorrow, or like every day, there's a new version of you. You should be able to kill yesterday's version of you. Whether that means you're smarter, you're faster, you're stronger."
Oh, gotcha.
Every day,
Yeah, gotcha.
you should get a little better. That
Sure.
if the two of you fought, you would win. The new version always wins.
Yeah.
Never go backwards.
Yeah.
Always get better.
Okay.
Like, it's a great idea,
Sure.
right? Like, am I improving? There is no staying the same. I'm
Yeah.
either getting worse or I'm getting better.
Yeah. I've heard Tom Brady say that.
Okay.
Same thing. Like, yeah, if you're not improving, you're getting worse if you're not improving.
Right.
Essentially.
Yeah. There is no
Okay.
stay the same.
Yeah.
One thing I say to my kids, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar as Jesse's grandpa said this to me. He's like, "You're never on time. You're either early or you're late. Like,
Yeah.
You are not on time." He's
Yeah.
like, "So be early." He's like, "Oh, I walked in the door like you, like 7:59. It's like, it's perfect. It's like 8 o'clock is on. Not that we're on any schedule that matters.
Sure.
But like that mindset is probably really good.
Sure.
So I've like tried to instill that in my teenagers, and from what I can tell, it's working. They're both really good about like, I have to be to work at 7. Work is 5 minutes away. I leave at 6:45, and they're always very good about that. Like, if there's a car accident or a cop pulls someone over,
Sure.
like that's not going to ruin them.
You
getting
got
there.
that buffer.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's like a valuable.
I try to do the same thing, just with, you notice like when people are running late, you add that. Well, some people, a lot of people, you add that extra anxiety
Yeah,
for being late or whatever. Or like, if I got to get her, like if she's fucking around in the morning and I got to get to the bus in 5 minutes and now I got to rush everything.
yeah,
It's like, she's going to be in
Anxious.
anxiety ridden state
sure.
where it's like, now you're like, and if you're sensitive like she is,
Yeah,
she's going to be like ready to, she's on the edge of losing her shit or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Just that.
I
just-
think Jackson's the same way.
Yeah.
And I think he procrastinates in the morning. And yeah, now that you're saying that,
Yeah.
I think that he's almost every day is like, all right, let's go. Because he's always, it's time to leave. I need to use the bathroom. Now you're like, all right, now we're going to be late. And you're
Yeah.
like, now you've created this environment
Yep.
where you're just like, you're on the fucking clock, dude. You better
That-
get that shit out.
That's where I'm trying to gain the patience as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, see this through the end. Let's visualize where we're at with this. If I put the stress on this, let's try to get them there without knowing that we need to rush
Sure.
to do this. You
Sure.
know what I mean? So if I can eat the anxiety for you to get you to a place for you to perform
Right.
at the best you can. I mean, for your child, obviously.
Sure.
But-
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a really good goal as far as a parent goes, because I think most of us live in this world now where it's like times to watch the clock. We
Sure.
got to go. Your kids are in sports, your kids go to school, you have work, and there's all these things where you're like, and that love for efficiency, like you said, is like, there's such a good feeling about like, dude, I had 8 things to do today and everything
knocked them off. Yeah.
and it fell
Yep.
right in place. Timing was perfect.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm doing. This is amazing. But I think overall, as good as that feels, like it's probably not very healthy
Sure.
for us to just continuously
Sure.
do that day after day.
Yeah.
And then we give it to our kids. We're like, you also get to be like this, even though we all know it's not good for us. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. If everything else is getting easier, as in with AI and everything else, maybe that's the next part of it. We need to incorporate taking time for nothing
Sure.
because everything it doesn't take as long as it did.
Yeah.
Or spending your time, just like cooking. There's what's his fucking face? The guy from the comedian. He was on that 70s show. This is a bad reference. He worked at the Snack Shack. Is his name Mitch or Mitch Hedberg?
Okay.
He had the joke, and it was like, he's like, I woke up today and made instant oatmeal and then sat around for an hour. He's like, I could have just made the regular oatmeal and felt productive.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, you could actually spend your time doing
Other things.
like cooking something from scratch does feel productive opposed to, throwing something in and fucking sitting on your phone and
Yeah.
doing it. And it probably is mentally, way better for you. than
Well, I think
just
the answer to
eating
that is
quick
doing something
snacks,
with your time as opposed like instant oatmeal's great. And now that you have that free time,
Yeah.
do something
Sure.
productive with it instead of being like, now I have time
But
to do
then we're
nothing.
saying the same thing though.
Right.
Because you're like, all right, cool, you got that time.
Yeah.
Pack something in there.
Right.
There's no
Well, it's finding things that don't feel like that, right? So that's part of like sitting down and reading. So
Yeah.
that's something to me that is probably really good. It's almost like meditative. You're relaxing, you're focusing. I think it's really good for your brain to just read written words for long periods of time, process information that way. I think I retain information way better. I'm a bad reader, so what I'll do is I'll read and then I'll be like, did I even read that page? Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about something else this whole
that's
time.
that's my problem.
So I think I just need to start doing it over because I
Yeah.
know Jack and Jillian are very avid. They read all the time.
Sure.
That's like their pastime. Like, oh, the kids are getting ready for bed. We're all going to sit down and read. So I think when I've had conversations with them about it, they've been like, you just keep doing it. It's like anything.
Sure.
You just keep doing it and eventually you'll start to enjoy it, whether it's Stephen King or, a book about somebody's life or.
Yeah. Yeah, he sent me a message, said that he can't do the Spartan.
All
Or-
right.
Not that he can't do it, but he just can't guarantee that he could do it.
Sure.
And if we want to lock in a spot, so
Yeah.
we can start looking at
Booking
figuring
something
that
or-
out. So
You want to do the family thing?
yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
The thing I was looking at, I'm trying to make it so that I'm trying to mastermind this situation at work where I'm making I'm gonna get rid of the July training for us and try to do a double training in June. So we're on our way to this working, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna end up starting maybe a 2-week vacation on that Monday, essentially.
Okay.
So if we were thinking about figuring something out, it would probably be Friday night, and then it would be, I don't know how long you guys would want to stay. I mean, it doesn't, obviously, I'm not saying we all need to go there for 2 weeks. You think you want to do like three days, something like that?
Yeah, I think that'd be a reasonable amount of time to go. Like maybe get there the day before the race.
Yeah, I'll probably work at least. I mean, I can put in 8 hours and leave by 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? I don't need to. By the time anyone be ready and be there by the evening, Friday evening
Yeah.
would be, and maybe even Friday. Being hourly, I want to keep those weeks. I'll get overtime that week and then not work for the following week or
Yeah.
whatever. So I don't like to necessarily leave too early if I don't have to, but
Sure.
that's neither here nor there. We'll figure it out. It's probably better if I'm like doing what I plan on doing, which is training specifically for this,
Yeah.
like trying to get cardio up for this, then I feel like I'm going to want to try to get there by 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, just so I'm,
The day before.
yeah, just so you're just like
Sure.
settled in,
Yeah.
not like fucking running around at 9 o'clock at night trying to be
Yeah.
like, oh, what room should we take?
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you can get a decent night's rest. You don't feel
Yep.
stressed.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I think getting there the day before, and then if we do the race, we'll be gone for 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And then come back and figure out stuff to do with the family, like the rest of that day. Maybe the next day if we stay one more, and
'Cause-
then take off.
Grand Rapids would be like or where that race is like an hour inland of the east side of Lake Michigan.
Okay.
So they got tons of different like resort towns or whatever
Sure.
right along there. A lot of it looks really cool.
Okay.
But if we could find something, I was kind of hoping Jack and Jillian would be able to go and we could get like a
Big-
super cool place for
Yeah.
a few days or whatever. But like he said, he doesn't know where he's going to be at.
Sure. Yeah, they're
So-
still figuring out what they're doing.
I'll start looking into it as well and see where we can go.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't dug into it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
We didn't know who's going to
yeah.
be available or whatever.
Yeah, did I tell you that like I think I told you this when you originally wrote me, I was like, yeah, I'm in. And then like I bought the ticket and everything, and then I start looking at like they send you like a race rules sheet and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is like
Legit.
this is like a real competitive race.
So I hope I signed up right because they sent me something in addition afterwards. It was like I bought the ticket and everything, and I signed up. I think I have my ticket in my wallet on here even.
Okay.
But then they like asked like who's gonna do this, you know? Like I
Usually
bought the ticket with all my
with your name
information.
already.
Yeah, but they want to like me to sign up. I don't know, something weird. And then it was something I just was like, I'll do this later. And I put it in see if I can find it. Yeah, like my registration. Like I didn't
Yeah, I think I might have gone through all that already.
said,
It's on my old
Oh, it
phone. It's
says-
at the bottom of Nagawicca Lake right now.
yeah,
On my
nice.
old phone.
That would be a fun, let's find this phone
Yeah.
event. Like if you could actually find it.
Dude,
Obviously,
it was
it's not going to be usable, but if you actually could, I have a phone in that fucking lake too.
Dude, that lake is 100 feet deep.
Yeah. Oh, is it at
Yeah.
some points?
Well, definitely where we were because it took all the line off of Jackson's fishing rod.
Oh,
us.
really?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
The thing it says you're registered, and then it says now assign tickets and team up in your account. So I don't know what I need to do.
Yeah, I can't
What was the
recall.
rules or whatever though? Sorry.
It was like if you, because you know in the past when we've done Spartans, it's kind of loose, right? Like, yes, please do 15, 20 burpees, whatever. And it seems like this is like you do those burpees and there's like a judge at every one.
I knew that part. Yeah.
And then it's like if you do not do the burpees, you will be docked time.
Yeah.
If you get caught cheating or not doing things multiple times, you'll be removed from the race. I'm like,
Oh, really?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's people that are there to really compete. It
Yeah.
makes sense. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
have someone who's just like, all I do is run and do burpees. I skip everything.
I
And
thought the burpee stuff was just the punishments.
I think it's if you cannot complete the
Yeah.
obstacle.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
so
I
every
think
person
that's-
could just run up and do burpees at every obstacle and then just run by. and they
I
do
was
fast.
thinking about that. I was like, well, that may be a strategy, but it's got to be like, hey, if you don't do 3, you're disqualified
Yeah.
or whatever, because obviously someone's going to game the
Yes.
system who's like, all right, I weigh 110 pounds.
Yeah.
I fucking run 6-minute
Miles, no
fucking
problem.
10K.
Yeah.
I'll just run up and do a bunch of burpees
Yeah.
and then go home.
Burpees are nothing
Yeah.
for me. I'm so light.
Sure.
I don't have to carry any of the Atlas balls or I don't have to do any of the sandbag carry. Like you'd be so much faster. Just rip. If you can rip out 300 burpees over the course of an hour and 10-minute
Yeah.
10K,
Yeah.
like if you are capable of that, you'd be the fastest person because you don't have to climb ropes. You don't have to pull those sleds. There's a bunch of shit that would make you so fast.
So looking at it, oh God, I got a million things going through my head now. Is there a place like that has like a American Ninja Warrior like
For grown-ups?
style course around here anywhere that you know of?
I don't know. I mean, Midwest Twisters has that's a kid's course. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of anywhere I bet there's gyms that have that.
Yeah, I'm just curious if there's any like specific training
You know
for
who does know?
Yeah. Any specific training for that type
Yeah.
of stuff. And I just would like to know prior what the event all entails.
Right.
So each obstacle, because the Stadion was much different than the other one we did.
Yes.
So I will be much happier with the normal, like the Stadion had all those fucking push-up
It
station.
was just cardio.
Blah, blah, it was like, and then whatever, with those box jumps and all that kind of stuff, it
Yeah.
was like, this feels not like a thing to
No.
me. Like, it was cool being in the stadium, but it wasn't like obstacles or something that would be kind of challenging to do.
Yeah.
It was just fucking exercise. So I'm hoping there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
A box jump station or whatever.
I mean, I liked the first Spartan we did was cool.
Yeah.
The first
Yep.
one there was a lot of stuff that was hard.
Yeah.
And it was challenging, and it was different than a Tough Mudder in a lot of ways, and I really liked it. But yeah, the Stadion was cool, I guess, for what it was.
Yeah.
I understand they can only alter Notre Dame Stadium so much. They're not going
Sure.
to flood it with mud like the Coliseum.
Sure.
So it was fine, but you're jumping rope with a giant battle rope, and it's like, go jump rope. Now climb up these stairs on your stomach. Now climb down these stairs
Oh
on
yeah,
your stomach.
I forgot about that
Like,
part.
all right, dude.
It's like there was very little built up obstacles.
Yeah. Do burpees with this 20-pound, weighted pole or whatever
Yeah.
that thing is.
I remember wanting to buy one of those after
Yeah.
that though. I was like,
That was
I
the
think
final obstacle, right?
Yeah.
We were all just like dying.
pretty gassed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus I didn't know, like we were doing those box jumps or whatever. I was like, I'm not even sure. I felt like I was cheating.
Yeah.
Like I was like I think you were supposed to jump on him and like essentially do a squat,
And then
right?
stand
and
up.
then jump off. And I was
Yeah.
like trying to just like
On off.
dip, boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop. I was like, I don't know I don't do CrossFit. It's a CrossFit thing.
How do you think I'm going to say, are there any gyms near Waukesha that have a Ninja Warrior type setup for adults?
Yeah. Or is there any adult Ninja Warrior type gyms?
I think I'm just going to do,
Rock, just do it.
yeah. Can't you figure it out? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of Ninja Warrior stuff for children around.
Oak Creek. Oh. Okay, so Oak Creek, open that one up once. Like I know there's.
Just give me a link to the webpage in here now.
That's what I thought it was going to do.
I feel like there has been. Let me just look it up. I mean, can I see where it's pulling from, and will it take me there? UltimateNinjas.com. Is that the one that we were just looking at? Yeah.
I think so. Well,
Yep,
no,
there you go.
children. Not today. Adult open gym. Why is everything in adult times? 7 p.m. Tuesday.
Adults. Oh,
Sleeping.
adult fitness.
Well, yeah, what's that
Ulti
say?
Fit. I mean, this is probably going to be some subscription type thing. You keep showing me the same page. What's
Yeah.
going on here?
I get it. That child is very attractive.
So
I
yeah,
got to
Pete-
do something different.
Yeah,
Hey, that
fucking
fucker.
Pete Davidson to watch
No,
your
that
kids.
guy, did you watch that show? American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, I don't recognize
I
him.
think
though.
that's like Captain.
Oh, so he's like famous.
Yeah, he was one of the big guys.
They got him to show up for one thing,
Yeah.
and now he's part of their.
They gave him $5,000,
pitch.
and that'll do it. I think that chick did it too. Yeah, keep going down. There we go.
There it is. Coming soon. Not yet.
This
Oh, adult fitness.
this just looks like push-up class too.
Oh, cool. This is a fucking Planet Fitness
I don't want
with
to
ropes on the
I
ceiling.
don't want to do push-up class.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of this is just like advertising that they know about Ninja
Yeah.
Warrior.
We've seen the show.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something around if we dig into it.
What was those other one? What was the Windy City one in Chicago or whatever?
I
I would like. I kind of do have a hard time imagining there's like an open gym style where they just let you fuck around.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe that is a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I mean, maybe if there's some kind of waiver you sign, they're like, sure,
Yeah.
break your leg in here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean that is what like Sky Zone and all those
Yeah.
trampoline parks are.
Sky Zone comes up right here, actually.
How many? Yeah, how many kids are breaking their legs there on a daily basis? Every day, there's got to be at least one broken bone per day
throughout all of Sky Zones.
At Urban Air? No, at each location.
At each one, you think each day?
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
So they have like an ambulance that lives in the back?
Talk to anybody about trampolines and trampolining as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be 5 seconds, but they're like,
Yeah.
I broke my arm.
Yeah.
Or my brother broke my arm.
Did you ever know the Howards?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a nonstop of just injuries.
Yeah. No, yeah, there are death traps. I don't know, man. I think when you hurt yourself on a trampoline, you're normally old enough to make really terrible decisions on a trampoline. Because like little kids, I think first of all are very durable.
Pliable. They're
Yeah.
just made of fucking silly putty.
Yeah. So you can just drop them on things and they'll nothing will break.
Sure.
But I think when you start letting, 16-year-olds run amok in a place like that, that's where stuff starts happening. What was the other one you said? Windy City? You're not going to drive to Chicago for that.
No, it's on the other page. I'm just just assuming that actual good things need to be in a big city like that,
Ninja Cats in Yonkers, New York.
Yeah.
I like how I ask this and it gives me...
Near Waukesha?
Yeah.
Well, Yonkers? Would Yonkers be good?
I'm going to go down there in the evenings on my private jet.
Yeah,
Windy
let's
City
go to the
Ninjas.
Windy City one.
Well, let me see if actually, I'll do what I did with the other one. Then I'll pull up the web page here.
Windy City. Beautiful children again.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Seeing a theme.
Elmhurst. There's an adult
Yep.
child.
Too quick. Elmhurst adult competitions. Read more. Our adults. 6-week competitive mini-series starting July 18th. See what happens when you go to sign up. Give you a
Push-up
breakdown.
class.
25,
yeah.
25 a session.
See, the only thing I know of that's like close to that is just like doing the bouldering at Adventure Rock.
Sure.
That would be, and that's not even really close to it.
Yeah, no, it's a whole nother, just a different type of pretty difficult body weight movement.
Yep. Yeah, because I wonder how big, like the competition. Like, are you gonna go? I'm just curious. I go there and I feel like I'm in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
And then you just get like
Smoked.
50th place.
Yeah.
I'm just because you don't
How
know.
many people, do they give us a number?
I don't know. I've got no clue. I've never looked
just
into
don't
any
wanna
of
get
these
last.
fucking things. Yeah.
Not last, I'd
Yeah.
be happy with.
Yeah. Like none of these things I ever look into, but I realize, if you actually want to perform pretty well, you're going to need to know, what the setup is or whatever. Even the amount of space between obstacles is probably a pretty good thing to know. Just if you can actually judge how much you need to keep in the tank opposed to.
Well, you plan it like you have a real plan.
Yeah.
You don't just show up and just wing it.
Yeah.
You probably also, I don't know what they supply you with as far as like electrolytes or food or snacks, but a lot of people have like those pouches, the gel packs.
Sure.
Like, probably be a good idea to throw a few of those
Off
in
a
your
10K,
pocket.
you think you need one?
I think if you're going to push yourself that hard,
Yeah,
it might be
maybe.
wise.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know they're made for like more long distance things when your body starts to break down. But
Sure.
I guess if you're going to eat in the morning, maybe not.
Rip one of those right at halftime or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's really nothing. It's not going to fill you up. It's not going to fuck with you.
Sure.
You might as well just pound that down.
Have you taken those before?
No.
Yeah, I've never either.
Yeah, it's...
I want to do some trail runs, though.
Yeah. Well, you should do... Silver Circle does a whole summer racing thing called the Trail-a-Sail.
Yeah.
So you can sign up for the whole thing, and then they'll have like a race like every few weeks.
Okay.
And then when you're in the entire... When you sign up for the entire series, then you compete for like who won the entire series.
Sure.
Because you accumulate like points over
Sure.
the course of the series then, and then whoever has the most for your age group. So that's kind of cool. Jack and I have done the Trail of Sail. We've done the Chili Willy, which is like their winter run.
That's the one that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have like a whole series.
Yeah.
So you can sign up. It's cheaper than if you buy all the races. But then it's like, am I going to run these 12 races over the course of the next, 4 months?
Yeah.
So you think it's kind of cool because it's much like for me, like the Tough Mudder or the Spartan, like I have to do it now, right? Like I signed up,
Yeah.
I'm going to do
Sure,
it. And then
sure.
it gives you have
You're
this,
locking yourself in.
yeah.
Yep. For sure. There's some value to that. Absolutely. So what else is on your to-do list here?
Well, there was a lot of just like topics. Oh, dude, you watch the Aaron Rodgers doc?
I did not.
It's pretty cool. I don't know how
watched
many
the-
episodes are in it.
I watched like a little bit of the first one,
Yeah.
but I know some things just off, from
Other-
whatever.
Sources, yeah.
So I know they were talking like him like cry. He was crying in it.
Oh, I don't
right
know.
or not?
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I know that's spoil it for me.
No, I think there was like some ayahuasca,
Oh yeah.
like when
Yeah.
he's like,
Does like a trip and like he did like that whole silent retreat and all that stuff.
I think the ayahuasca ruined his career.
Oh, just doing it?
Yeah.
That's when he made the choice to go to the Jets, right?
No, it was previous. It was probably like a year.
Before that.
Like the last year he won the MVP.
Yeah.
After that, then I think he did it. That like,
Just shot
yeah, I think so. I think he
Yeah.
lost the,
the competitive drive.
I think it broke down the ego needed to be what you need to be
great.
incredible at your position like that.
Yeah.
At the hardest position in sports, and to be the best in the world at that. So you're
Yeah.
the best guy
Sure.
at your sport.
You're the top.
You're the top of the food chain,
Mm-hmm.
and then you want to break your ego.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe wait 5 years till
Sure.
your body's shot.
Well, it's
Then-
interesting when they
then go
break
ahead
down
and
like
do all that.
his like healing process. When they go through like the torn Achilles and they're like, I don't know, it's like 9 weeks and he's back on the practice field. They're
Yeah.
like, at 40, that's
Yeah.
typically career ending.
Yeah,
So a lot of that stuff's interesting. I know Brigham
he's
Bueller
that
worked with him.
ways to well.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So Brigham hasn't shown up in the doc yet. I'm curious to see if he does because I know a lot of people are hesitant to talk about him because he's kind of seen as like this. I think there's a big effort in like the medical world to make
Sure.
a lot of the
I know
things
what you're
that he
saying.
says like woo woo and
Yeah.
oh, he's
Yep.
just full of
Yeah.
shit. Don't listen to him. So I'm curious to see if he actually shows up in the doc. We'll see. I brought that up to Jesse. I normally don't have Jesse like sit down and like watch and listen things that I listen to, but I've had her watch like Brigham episodes, and she's like, Jesus, if this is true, like
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, it sounds true. Like I don't know, maybe he's just very compelling. right?
Exactly.
But if it is true, like that's a lot of like RFK stuff, right? Like Fauci stuff. You're like, if that's true, that's crazy. Nobody's suing him,
Yeah. Like
So-
I said, a lot of it is just follow the money.
right?
And that almost makes you sound like a conspiracy theorist just to start with, but like that. But follow the money, and for everything else, it's like keep it as the simplest explanation is probably
Yeah, Occam's
That-
razor.
is probably the right answer.
Yeah. Well, I
So
do
if you
think there's so much
combine
money.
those two things, then
Yeah.
where are we at here? Is
Well, there's-
everyone else profiting off of keeping you
Not well.
sick
Yeah.
and a repeat customer?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
It's what are they what's his big thing? RFK talks about it too. Like chronic disease.
Yeah.
It's just chronic, just constant.
Yeah.
As we all unless you are hyper focused on your health, by the time you hit 40, like you're gonna be on meds. You're
Yeah.
gonna
Yep.
it's like most people are on something. Like that's just a good goal in general as we pass 40. Don't be on
Sure.
a daily medication.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy that's even it's just eating whole foods and not consuming processed bullshit should be
The norm
Yeah.
opposed to the other
yeah
way.
fucking Cheetos and Hot Pockets.
Yeah. That's what I don't know what your kids eat, but my daughter eats just shit
Same.
generally.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure. 100%. Well, it's
Yeah.
just the option too. If I got a fridge full of beer and a full bar, I'm going to have some drinks.
Right.
If I have none of it there and it's 7:00, I'm not going to go out to go get it.
Right. You're not gonna go to a bar.
But if it's there would be in the back of my head like, you know, I don't got shit to do tomorrow.
Right.
I might as well.
Might as well get a little saucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deserve it.
Yeah.
I deserve this. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's a fun thing too, because I think like the human mind is really good at like justifying
Yeah.
like, bad decisions. You're like, yeah. Because like you could even have that conversation in your head about how you shouldn't. And like within 25 seconds, you've talked yourself into it.
Yeah. What
About-
would be the way to, like, you got like the key, like, I'm talking the snowball, like the snowball of positive. You could have the snowball of negative as well. But when that justification goes into your mind, you need like a alarm
Reminder.
system
You just
that
need
goes off that goes, this was your goal.
Yeah.
This is impeding your progress in this goal. This small amount of pleasure from whatever it's
It's
going to
not
be
worth it.
is going to backtrack.
You just need to hire like a giant black guy to follow you.
sure
everywhere.
I do that anyways, but yeah, yeah,
And then he like either hits you or yells at you when you fuck up.
sure. I'm just trying to think of like a mental process or something
Like a
that
trigger, like a
yeah,
reminder.
Yep, like
Sure.
it hits you and you're just like,
Well, I think documenting all of your everything you take in helps with that. Because
sure.
what I realize is if I'm not using MyFitnessPal and putting in all my food,
That's an app used.
yeah, I'm much more justified in like it's only an Oreo, you know. And then I do
Yeah.
that, and then before you know it, I haven't tracked the last 6 things that I've eaten. The day's shot. I don't know what I've eaten.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna have a bowl of Fruit Loops now, and it's like before you know it,
Yeah.
I now have a 4,000 calorie day and a lot of it's junk.
Yeah.
So I think by documenting everything, which I don't know if you'd be disciplined enough to do that with alcohol. Like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm going to put this Bud Light in. It's
Yeah.
like, that'd be a pretty sad,
Yeah.
let's see how this week went. And you go back and go, Jesus, look at all the
Sure.
booze I drank. So I just think that by doing that, it's like another step of accountability where you're like, I'm putting it down. And then you see it.
Yeah. Maybe do any of those have like an alarm? As in
Like a warning. Like, what do you mean?
maybe no, like maybe it would be like, hey, it's 12 o'clock. Beep. Here's what you've done for the day. This is where you're at.
Good job. Keep it up.
You know, something like that. And then also like, this was your stated goal.
Sure.
It throws that at you.
Sure.
I
I
haven't.
mean, you could put all that in your phone, though. Just think if you wanted to set
Sure,
alarms
sure,
to
sure.
go off on your phone
Yeah,
every
yeah.
3 hours and be
Yeah.
like, hey, stupid, you know, don't do that.
Yeah. It needs to be like, I mean,
You just got to get the chip in your head.
Yeah.
Just get the chip in your head.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm just brainstorming, I suppose.
Yeah. I think it's hard because I think in those moments, you turn that off. In the moments where
Yeah,
like you're
that-
weak and you give into it,
That's why
You're
that's
shutting
why I
it down.
Say it like an alarm. Like
Right.
it needs to break you out of whatever
Sure.
mindset you're in.
fucking shock collar.
Yeah, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of chemical that starts flooding your brain
Yeah.
to say, "Hey, it's pleasure time."
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. It starts blocking out your frontal cortex or whatever,
Right.
making your decisions to, stay on a correct path.
It's the chip, dude. It's Neuralink. You can
Need
put
it.
Neuralink in there and they're just going to be like,
I'll have it by the next time I'm here.
well, man,
Time is it?
it's 10:05.
Wow,
We did about 2 hours.
pretty quick.
We should wrap it, and I got to go to my daughter's house and meet her boyfriend's ex and his little baby that he has with the ex, and her new husband's and her new husband's parents. So yeah,
Okay.
it's just gonna be interesting.
And what is the purpose of this?
So we've been helping them out. He like went through like a custody thing to see his son. In the beginning, he wasn't sure if it was his son. This girl, his ex, had a kid. He was pretty sure it was his. Then she said it's not his. I went through all the custody stuff. So he was coming to me like, what do I do? And I was like, if you want to be a part of this kid's life, if
Yeah.
you believe it's yours,
Yeah.
get a DNA test.
Yeah.
And if it's yours, go to court. You're going to pay child support.
Yeah.
And your goal is to see your kid half time.
Yeah.
That's what's
That's the best you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I went through all that, and like it took me years to eventually get there.
Yeah.
It's like you start now, and you just be involved in your kid's life. You know, he's one.
So your girlfriend, it's your girlfriend's boyfriend's baby mama's parents.
My
Your daughter's boyfriend's baby mama's mama dada.
husband's parents. My daughter's.
Oh, okay.
My daughter,
so that chick
Haley-
is married now?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
So
not
the-
even her parents.
No, it's her.
So you
husband's
can have
parents.
sex with everyone there, right? Except for your daughter?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Everyone.
Well, I mean, the world is the world is your oyster at this point.
So yeah, we're going to do that. And then, so yeah, Jackson's at soccer practice right now. They'll be home any minute. We're going to go do that. After that, Jackson has a soccer game today at like 2. Then we'll get home from that. Then there's a Milwaukee Wave home game tonight.
Holy shit.
So we're going to go to the Wave game.
All right. Well, I'm going to
So-
get out of here then.
All right, man.